Hey explorers, I am Jessica, and today on Exploring the Local Life, I'm going to talk to you about my personal experience boondocking solo. And by solo, I basically mean it was me, the kids, cats, and Robert was in Atlanta. I was with the RV Nomads cast and crew, so I wasn't totally alone. They helped me a whole lot, but there were still some things that I got to take care of, some of which I'd never done before. So I just want to share my experience and encourage you to face your fears. So most of you guys already know that I have been kind of going at it alone with the kids. Not that Robert and I have been having any issues. It's just that I have been very interested in traveling, and he has that job that he has to go to and work in an office, and I have been, itching to travel. So we have made it so that I can. But part of that was we ended up in Colorado, in Salida, on the top of a mountain in a wildlife management area with 0 hookups. And I did that for about 14 days. He did come in between. He has 4 days on, 4 days off. So he was rotating and flying in to see me. And I was, like I had said, with the RV Nomads cast and crew. So I wasn't all alone, but I still got to do some things that I had never done before. So as most of you know also, we do not have solar yet. We do have a generator. But a generator doesn't just, run by itself. You got to plug in the RV. You have to make sure that there's enough fuel in it to run for a certain amount of hours. And I had never actually filled like one of those portable gas tanks. It's kind of stupid, but I had never done it. So I actually took my new friend Kelly Beasley from RV Chickadee and Camp Attic with me so that she could make sure that I didn't break any rules or catch on fire. I didn't even know because I'd never done it before. So she came along with me to do it. Of course, I should have probably had her with me when I filled up the gas tank because, I have some footage of what happened. Insert footage here. Problems with the way I filled the generarator. First off, there's like a little screen. I pulled that out. That's supposed to be there to filter out any garbage. Well, not all the garbage, but some obvious gunk that could be in the gas. The second mistake that I made was I just opened the gas tank and as you saw, I lost control and fuel went everywhere. So I had to let that evaporate and wash my hands clean before attempting to start the generator. That was probably the last time that I made that huge mistake of spilling at least that much. That's not always, without a funnel, you can't always get it perfectly in there, but I did much better after those times. Also, because I was completely boondocking, no hookups, had to do water management and also gray tank management and then the black tank management. Wow. So with the freshwater management, we filled up before we got there, of course, but then I started running low. The great thing though is that the cast and crew, the RV Nomads movie, have this huge tank barrel thing that they fill up with water, and they have a pump. So it was actually pretty easy to be like, hey guys, I'm running low on water. And they literally just pulled up with their truck and helped me fill up my fresh water, which was magnificent. In the, almost 20 days that I was there, I had to fill up with fresh water 3 times. Our freshwater tank is probably 40, if that, gallons. And, even though we were using paper plates and paper cutlery and stuff, drinking water, all of that stuff, it actually went pretty quickly. And of course, we still have a regular toilet, so we did have to use water for that. We did go the entire time, though, without having to dump the black tank, which was epically wonderful. Part of that, I think, is also that we were not peeing into the toilet. That's right. The girls, we all collected our urine, and yeah, Daniel just peed on a tree. And when our urine collection jug got full, I would just scattered it about the area, like if I was a guy peeing on a tree. In the future, though, we are not going to have to deal with that because our awesome friends Geo Astro RV actually made it possible for us to now own our own composting toilet. And we're really excited about it. We haven't installed it yet. We're going to bring you along for the install, and then of course starting to use it, and we'll let you know what we think. Like, is it better? Did we make a mistake? What do we do now? So stay tuned for that. But we're really excited about it. Although we are pretty, impressed with ourselves that we did not fill up our black tank in the whole time that we were boondocking. As far as the gray, we did drip it a little bit, but that's about it. We were really careful about how much we put in there. If we could reuse that water, or if we could just pour it outside, we did that as well. So I kind of went over some technical stuff, but what about the emotional stuff of me, boondocking, mostly alone? I had friends, as you can see, that hung out with me, but what was the experience like emotionally? It was hard, I was very scared about it. Boondocking is challenging because you have those limited resources, and having to manage it on your own, it can be pretty tricky and scary, and just doing something that I had never done before. I'd boondocked, of course, with Robert before, and done dry camping. Like, we've done that a lot, but I wasn't sure how I was going to deal with working the generator, not necessarily turning it on, but like refueling it, watching the fuel levels to make sure we didn't use too much and have the generator kick off. We actually ran out of propane. Actually, let me tell you about that. Like, last 24 hours or so, 36 hours before we left and before Robert arrived, black tank was like up to here. We were running out of fresh water. We were out of propane. So our refrigerator was like blinking red unless I had the generator running, because it couldn't run on propane because there was no propane. Also, the battery that came with our RV just stopped. Like, I don't know, I guess we killed it. And if you're like, oh, you didn't manage it properly, we didn't, okay? Not gonna lie. We also have some energy sucks inside the RV. We do run a blue light, LED light inside 24/7, or at least overnight, for Nadia and the kids, really, so that they can come back and forth to our room if necessary, so they have light to go to the bathroom, those sorts of things. And also we have one light, they're all LED lights, but we have one that I don't know what happened with it. It got damaged, whatever, it stays on all the time. We actually keep it in the bathroom, and it functions as a night light in the bathroom, which is convenient, but we can never turn it off. So those are constantly draining the battery. So I think that that's really the main reason why our battery got so damaged. But the good news is that we had some amazing RV Nomads that actually gave us a bunch of batteries for free. So we were able to change that out, but not before Robert came. So here we were basically like falling apart, and then it started getting really hot, and we're like sweating, running out of water, running out of black tank space. It was getting critical. It was a rough time. I felt bad. I'm like, Robert, we'll go home. You need to do everything. And being the awesome guy that he is, he did all of it. I did clean the RV though before he came, so at least I had done something in his absence. So of course I have mentioned this before in some other boondocking videos, blog posts, everything, and Robert has reiterated this as well. Boondocking is magnificent. You get to go to these remote places. It's beautiful, and you don't have the crowd. So yeah, the whole cast and crew of the RV Nomads movie was there. Well, not all. Some were venturing elsewhere, but there were a lot of us there. But still, it was like camping out with friends. So it was a great time. It wasn't like, fighting over campsite spaces, or having your neighbor being like so close to you, you can look in their window, and all of that stuff. So, and you can see with some of the footage that we took that it was a beautiful place, and it was a good experience for all of us, a good experience for the kids too. They helped me out a lot. And you know, I'm all about, part of this whole life that we're doing here is facing those fears, figuring out like why we have them. Like I mean, you know, me actually facing my fears. And I think that Robert has had to face some of his own as well. Hopefully he can speak to that later. But it's really just challenging, growing. I don't know, for me it's really figuring out who I am and what I'm really capable of. And you know, if you find yourself in a position where you're going to be maybe boondocking solo, whether it's because you are single, or whether you're single with kids, or whether your spouse or partner is elsewhere and you need to boondock for a while by yourself, I just want to encourage you to just do it, you know. If you can have a support system in place like I did, I probably would not have done it by myself completely. Not yet, we don't have all the tools necessary. I think if we had like one of those freshwater tanks and one of those water pumps where I could do these things, I would, you know, go for it, but I still don't have that training. So it was good for me to be with the support team, and I was upfront with them as soon as I got there. Actually, before I got there, I told them that I was scared about it. And you know, sometimes putting yourself out there, making yourself vulnerable in a safe group with a safe team and friends is good, so that way you don't find yourself, you know, suffering unnecessarily. Anyway, I really hope that this video helped you, give you some insight. I don't know, I just felt that I needed to share some of my experiences because it might help somebody else out there who's thinking about doing this. Or, you know, I don't know, maybe you guys have some advice for me, maybe you've done it as well. You can kind of like, yeah, I've done it too, go, woo. I don't know. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we will catch you guys later. Bye.